I ran up a check, I might do it again. Enemies close, had me thinking they're friends. 10 toes down, I'll be free until the end. Crib outside the city, I don't feel safe in my hands. Took so many years, I'm just waiting for the wins. I'm in debt to no one but the one who took my sins. I do it for real, there's no reason to pretend. If I do it once, I do it again. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me.
I see you. Welcome to Millionaire Before 30. We are on a mission.
Absolutely. As you guys know, we are on a mission to create a blueprint to give to you guys on how to become a millionaire before 30 years old. I'm Ryan Zolan.
I'm Brent Daniels, Mr. Talk to People. I am obviously not under 30. I am the yin to this man's yang. I am 40. You are
23.
23 years old. You've got another 7 years before you hit 30, and you just crossed that threshold this year.
Yes, sir.
And that's what we're here talking about. What
Absolutely.
we're here is to show the blueprint that you have used, to show the blueprint that I have used. Obviously not under 30. I am the cautionary tale. This is the example of what you need to put into your mind and put into your processes and follow the plan so that you can hit that goal of being a millionaire before 30. And listen, there's a lot of things. It's really interesting, Ryan. I've been listening to the new Gary V audiobook, and it's called 12 and a half, right?
Yep.
And he talks, it's a phenomenal book. And he talks about patience. He talks about everybody trying to get to that millionaire. And if you don't do it before 30, you're going to feel really bad at 31. I want to say I disagree on that on some level. I get it. But what we're doing here is we're trying to build in strong principles.
Most definitely.
Of one, being super proactive, having a lot of confidence, building an incredible network, and surrounding yourself with people that will help you succeed that goal of being a millionaire before 30. I think that there is patience.
Without a
There
doubt.
is patience that comes into play with what you're doing if you're trying to get there in 1 year or 2 years
without a
or
doubt.
whatever else.
Without a doubt.
It takes some time to like build the foundation of your business so that it can be successful, and so that you're not just making $1 million real fast and then all of a sudden you're done.
Oh, without a
right?
doubt.
Like an athlete, you get in, you become a millionaire, whatever, 20, 21, 22, but at 36 you're done. You better have a backup plan
Without a doubt.
if you want that lifestyle.
Or make sure you make the right investments and financial decisions
it.
that's going to set you up.
That's it.
Absolutely.
So, Matt, let's pull up the blueprint here. We talk about this every time in the show. It starts with, number one, doing a deal, right? It starts with doing a deal. Now, here we're very, very, very heavy on real estate investing because that's what we do. We've seen more people be successful in this than anything else. I think it is the path that will lead to long-term wealth, not only income coming in, but long-term wealth. And the ability to really do something exciting, really loosen up your schedule, really be able to have control over your life. But it starts, we can't go all the way there right now. We got to do a deal first. And we have to cross that bridge from faith to fact.
Absolutely.
That's number two.
And then transitioning from just doing a deal, whether or not it's real estate or whatever industry it is, it has to be switching over full time.
Yep.
We don't care what anyone says. Once you are able to put the time commitment in, that's when you start to see the biggest growth happen because you're putting all your effort, energy, and more importantly, your focus into one specific thing.
Love it.
Full-time.
Love it. And then there's no point in going out there and hustling and working and being proactive and having quality conversations and going out there and really laying it all out on the line, taking all the risk, and then paying it all to somebody else, giving somebody else a return on their investment, which is debt, which is consumer debt, which is your student loans, your credit card debts, your car payments. Those are the big three.
Right.
We want to kill that so that the money that you're earning does not just get spent into interest payments. It gets invested into assets.
Absolutely, which is number 4. As I just said about the athletes, this is the most important piece. You kill off the debts, you're in this business full time, you're doing the deals. What next? You have to make sure that you're implementing investing into assets. These assets are going to create cash flow. They're going to create passive income. And more importantly, it leads you to your step 5, which is
That's it. Financial freedom. And what is that? Really, that financial freedom can be replaced with control.
Of course.
That's it.
That's all
I
it
think
is.
that's the thing. As entrepreneurs, we are entrepreneurs because we want more control. We're just naturally want more control in our life. There's certain people that, listen, they feel fulfilled being told this is where you need to be and this is what you need to do.
Right.
It's very comforting. It's very safe. I feel like my wife even is like that as a nurse. She loves the regular schedule.
For sure.
She loves knowing that she goes in, she goes out, she can turn it off when she's not there, and that's just not our brains. That's not the brains of our audience that have been listening.
Right.
That is not the brains of anybody that wants to be a millionaire before 30 and do that by actually providing $1 million worth of value to the marketplace. That's what that earned income is. That's what buying the assets does. That's how you really get to that goal of a millionaire before 30.
For sure.
So let's get into the nitty gritty, because literally 3 minutes ago.
Yeah, 3 minutes ago.
No, well, it's been 6 minutes since we started. So let's say 9 minutes ago,
Yes.
you got a text. You just got another deal off the MLS.
We got another deal. Dude, this is deal 3 or 4 this week.
This week.
This week.
We're
Thursday.
What's going on?
So I just got the information.
Yep.
Looks like this one's going to be in Scottsdale. ARV is 660.
Yep.
Rehab, we got at 60. We got profit to be about 45,000. We have it under contract at 495.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me look at those numbers. So 495K. You said 60K in repairs?
Yeah.
And you've got an ARV of how much?
660.
660. So
Scottsdale.
you're into this thing 555.
And let's also
off
not
the
forget, we
bat.
get the commission too.
Oh,
so
you get
495.
495. So you
2.5%.
get 2.5.
2.5.
So what's 2.5 at 495?
495.
Guys, this is an advantage of having a real estate license. You get that income when everybody puts when a property hits the market. Maybe a lot of people don't know this. To get buyers agents like Ryan, or to get agents that have buyers to sell that property, bring their clients to that property, work with it, facilitate the whole process on the buying side. The seller will put out anywhere from 1% to 3% on the market. Obviously, 3% is going to get more eyeballs.
Right.
This one's 2.5% of 495 is 12,375.
And we're capped too, so we're at 100% of the commission at the moment. So that 12,000 is a full 12,375 coming us in.
Love it.
Yep.
Love it. And so,
I don't know if we're gonna wholesale, if we're gonna flip. I haven't figured that one out yet. I'm gonna take a look as soon as we get out of the show.
That's
and
exit
then-
strategy, right?
Yeah.
That's just exit strategy.
Yep.
Remember, whenever you get a real estate deal, you've got 3 options, right? You can assign it, which a lot of people call that as wholesale, where you put it under contract and you literally assign that contract to somebody else for a fee. We average about $40,000 on that fee for the wholesales that we do. All right. Now, the second option is to keep it and hold it and put it into your rental portfolio and rent that out and start getting some cash flow from that. And the third one is obviously to flip it.
Absolutely.
And you don't have to fix and flip it. You can literally just take it down, put it back on the market, or take it down and clean it up or do extensive rehab and make it something special. So there's your 3 options really for exit strategy. I mean, there's some other stuff that you could do once you own it, and then you do some seller financing, be the bank. But for the most part, those are the 3 options.
You got it.
Got it?
Hit it right on the head.
Got it. So let me ask you this. This is a hot topic.
Yes.
Jamil Damji has you going on tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
For his agent outreach challenge.
Yep.
Right? Secret agent outreach. And basically what it is 2,000 people are watching somebody call real estate agents to get referrals to deal, get them to send you deals.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yep.
Now, this is very intimidating for a lot of people that are just starting out. This is really intimidating. I wouldn't have done it. I'm trying. I don't know. I think that push comes to shove, if I really knew what to do and what to say and how to do it, I would probably try for sure.
Yep.
But it seems very intimidating if I've never done a deal to call somebody that is a real estate agent. And a lot of real estate agent conversations kind of sound like you're talking to an attorney. Correct. A lot of these people that have been in it a long time are trying to really grind you and ask questions and are very low emotion when they're talking to you. Yep. So you feel like, wait, am I having a good conversation here or is it going anywhere? Is it quality? So talk to me about how to approach an agent and who should you approach.
For sure.
And this is just a little bit of a preview. We're going to open this up to question and answers. So any questions that you have, put it in the comments. That's the point of the show. We go for 90 minutes. The first 20, 30 minutes is us, giving you some really good instruction. And then the rest of it is question and answer. So this show doesn't go anywhere. There's no legs to the show unless you guys are asking questions. And any celebrations that you have, any successes that you have, put it in the comments. We want to ring the bell. We want to recognize you. And that's the big parts. We're not going to really comp any properties on the show, but what we're going to do is we're going to celebrate and we're going to answer questions.
Absolutely. So to get started,
you've got, in Arizona, there's like 75,000 people that have a real estate license. Of that, probably 40,000 are active. Correct. How do you filter down 40,000 people to the most likely people that will come across discounted properties, come across properties that need some love and are dated?
For sure. So, just like anything, whether it's direct to seller, motivated agent or sellers, or if it's going to be direct to agents, you have to understand you're looking for it's a numbers game, right? Yeah. You're going to have to go through so much to find it.
Yeah.
So what I started to reverse engineer, and a lot of this, I will agree with what you said about, I'm not sure if had I not been a traditional agent first, I would have started really going heavy on agent outreach,
right?
Especially because my age, I would have been intimidated.
Right.
But what I then started to reverse engineer was, as an agent, no disrespect, but I will tell you, I have a firm belief real estate agents will always give you better referrals than a wholesaler.
Yeah.
They know how to comp properties.
Sure.
They may not know the rehab numbers, but quite frankly, I'd rather have the rehab numbers be off by a little bit rather than the ARV being spiked 30,000.
So you're saying wholesalers exaggerate what the
absolutely.
fixed up value of a house is to sell their deals?
They're crossing counties, cities. Oh, well, it's this zip code all the way over here.
Yeah.
No. So when I started to reverse engineer this, I started to then think inbound versus outbound.
Yes.
Inbound leads will always be more valuable than outbound. So if you can get the agents coming to you, making sure they know, love, and trust you, they are going to bring you referrals.
Yeah.
So more importantly, it's going out and having these conversations. It doesn't really matter on how that conversation looks. It's just telling them what you're looking for. Mm-hmm. When you're talking to other wholesalers, you're talking to sellers, you obviously have a buy box, right? Mm-hmm. So what's the difference if you were to go and tell somebody that is down in the trenches doing this full time, what you're looking for?
Right.
They're going to then know what you're looking for, and they're going to treat you like a client. What I then teach, and I'll go through this pretty extensively tomorrow too, is that the hardest part of the traditional side as an agent is going to be always finding a client, going in and qualifying them, making sure they get to a lender, hoping they have a credit score over 450, making sure they don't have enough debts that's going to kill their DTI so they can actually qualify for the home that they want. Debt to income ratio.
Woo, write it down.
So you have to go through all these hoops, and then let's not forget, you're competing against, let's say in this market, 20, 30 other offers.
Yeah.
But then you have an inspection period. You have an appraisal process. You have to hope that they don't buy a car in the middle of the transaction. How many things did I just list that are variables that could fall apart?
Right.
That's the hardest part of being an agent is finding that qualified client. And then guess what?
That can close. As a real estate agent, make no mistake, real estate agents don't have salaries. Right. They don't have bases. Right. There's no security. You eat what you kill. You literally only get paid a commission when a deal closes. Yep. And there's 1.5 million reasons why it doesn't close. That's why when cash buyers come to an agent, they're like, oh my gosh, thank God. Dude, oh, this is wonderful.
Absolutely.
I am going to, this
Explode.
is going to be, Explode. And if you make it a smooth process, they send you deals forever.
Without a doubt. Okay. And so, the hardest part is that let's say that you pass all those variables and you have that qualified person.
Yeah.
How many people know only one real estate agent?
Right. Nobody.
Everybody knows a realtor, and it's their aunt, their mom, their dad, cousin, uncle, the cashier at the grocery store, whatever the case. So you may have all these qualified clients, but then you have to hope that they're going to have the loyalty to you.
Yep.
So then once I started to understand the hardest part of being an agent is finding a client, the hardest part of the investment side is finding a deal.
Yep.
Why not go and find these people that are in the industry and just shorten it? Just be like, hey, I am your buyer. And like you said, you hit it right on the head. Let's make this transaction the smoothest transaction that they're going to have not only this year, of their career.
Okay. So what agents do you go after?
Dude, so this is where I go with the inbound strategy.
Okay.
It's going into Facebook groups.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people are going to teach that you should go and you should find where there's all these groups of agents and they're all in one pool.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Okay.
Agents talk. We all know who does what. And if you find a cash buyer, these agents are going to be vultures because you're going to have the ones that are discouraged that are like, there's 50 comments on this. I don't want to touch it. You're going to have the agents that are like, oh, okay, let's go for it. And then you've got two agents that are fighting against each other. When in hindsight, you want them working together to find you deals.
Right.
There's enough out
So
there.
what, are you posting to these groups and saying, hey, I need an agent to send me?
Absolutely. So this is the biggest key part here. Write this down.
Yep.
I need help. That's it. That's all this is. The minute you go to a realtor and say, I need help, remember what I just told you. The hardest part for them is
I
finding a
love that.
client. So you just said,
Is there
hey,
a way
I
to
need
put
help.
that across the bottom in like quotes, Matt?
I need help.
It's all right. If not, it's fine.
But
Yeah.
But those three words alone will make a realtor. It doesn't matter if they're at Starbucks. It doesn't matter if they're on a Facebook group. It doesn't matter if they're in a group, a networking event, whatever. The minute a realtor hears I need help and it has anything to do with real estate, they're like,
Yeah.
whoa,
Yeah.
how do I get involved in
So
this?
you literally write, I need help?
I need help. I need a realtor.
Yeah.
Does anyone have any recommendations?
Love it. Love it.
Watch what happens in your inbox.
In your realtor?
No, not in a realtor group, in
Okay.
a public group. And I'm
Oh,
talking
yeah.
like you find
Yeah,
one
yeah,
that has, my benchmark is usually
Yes.
about 10,000 plus people. You find one that has over 10,000 people. Remember what I said? How many people know more than one realtor?
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody.
And everybody's going to be
Everybody.
just throwing the referrals.
What are these groups?
It's going to be in Facebook. So like, for example, in Arizona, we've got like Go Gilbert, we've got Living Chandler, we've got these,
The city.
the city groups. And you can even
Yeah.
find buy, sell, and trade. Keep in mind, the only kickback you're ever going to find with this is if a realtor is the admin of the group. They may not let your post get approved.
Right.
That's the only downfall.
Right.
So if that's the only kickback, when I just listed off everything else that could fall apart being a traditional agent or even on the investment side, I will take my chances, and then it's a numbers game of just putting enough posts into a group.
There it is. I need help.
I need help. That's
I
all
need
this
help.
is. That's all this is.
I need help. I need a real estate agent.
That's it.
Boom. And you put it into public groups, in cities, in towns, in groups. Is there a minimum size that you should be going for?
10,000 minimum.
Minimum.
Minimum 10,000.
10,000 minimum.
And I mean, this could be.
And then what? They send you info. What do the agents start DMing you?
Yeah, so
Oh, yeah.
so this is where I do almost like a tier system. So it's going to be a matter of like you find the ones that are hungry,
Yeah.
they'll take the initiative of reaching out to you. Now, you're going to get a lot of people commenting saying, "Oh, use Todd Smith, use whoever, blah 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 blah." Great, you could reach out to them. Congratulations, you just got free leads to go and outreach. Well, aside from that,
That's a lot easier of a conversation.
without a doubt.
Yeah.
And on top of that, if they're a good friend that referred them, they're going to call up, "Hey, this guy just posted in a Facebook group. People are taking screenshots of it. They're sending it to the realtor. So sometimes they're even expecting the call.
I love it. I love it.
Just like
I
that.
need help. I need a realtor.
I need a realtor. And I say that and I'm licensed and people come to me.
Yeah.
So there should be no limiting beliefs of like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what this is. I don't know what that is. If you're watching this show, you are talking to people.
Yeah.
TTP. You
TTP,
guys are
baby.
going out there. You're putting yourself out there saying, I'm looking for this deal, this deal, this deal. Send me your deals. That's the most common quote in this industry. Why not take that and put it towards realtors?
Yep.
Let them be your bird dogs.
Love it.
Absolutely.
Love it. Love it. And then from there, what do you tell the agents? Do you say, hey, listen, this is what I'm looking for?
For sure. So there's
This
a big
is my process. Like,
Yeah.
how do you educate them on what you're looking for and how you work?
Let's break it down.
Yeah.
So I reach out and I'm like, hey, my name's Ryan. I'm an investor out here in Phoenix. I'm looking for some properties. Obviously, I'm looking for a deal. Look, full transparency, I understand we're in a seller's market. Deals are hard to come by. I'm not this naive buyer. I just want someone that can help me because I'm struggling to find these deals myself.
Yeah.
These realtors that tell you, they're not out there, gone. Move
Yeah.
on to the next.
Yeah.
The ones that start giving you the time of day and they're like, let's go, let's go, let's go. Guess what? You start breaking down what your buy box is. There's this big misconception that you can't do deals that are over $500,000
Yeah.
because people are like, I don't want to be on the hook for more EMD. I don't want
course.
to be on the hook for
What's
$500,000.
EMD?
Earnest money deposit.
Boom.
And so then what I'm going to do is I tell people that's all we really play with is in that $500,000 and up.
Yeah.
Because there's less competition. So if I go to them,
What would you say to somebody that is, hey, Ryan, I live in Dayton, Ohio. Like,
Okay.
there's no $500,000 and up properties.
For sure.
Where would that be? Where is it? Do you think it's a percentage? Do you think it's double median price? Do you think? I mean, I'm just putting you on
No,
the
yeah,
spot
no,
here,
absolutely.
so you don't really, you know what I mean? Like,
I think in those smaller markets, it's just being mindful. It's understanding that while I say 500,000 in comparison to out here, the average home price is like 400,000.
Right.
So in those smaller markets, put it in comparison. If an average home price is 80 to 100,000, I'd be looking in 150 to 175.
Got it.
In those price ranges where it's a little bit more on that higher end, whatever market it is.
Yep.
Don't be turned away by those. Understand that if they're not selling, there's a reason.
Love
Target
it.
it.
And then what happens if they just start sending you MLS deals?
Dude, that's a bad agent. That's
Right.
somebody that shouldn't be, they're not doing the legwork. And
Okay.
so at the end of the day, it's a little bit different with my business model because we target so many MLS deals as it is that an agent that's going to just qualify me and send me MLS listings,
Right.
dude, I'm already seeing those deals.
Yeah.
So I have to go then and educate them and say, hey, I appreciate that, but I'm not looking you to just get set up on this. I'm looking for you to send me any off-market properties. This is a big key right here. I want you to go to listing appointments, and if it is in any way, shape, or form something that you don't feel comfortable listing or the seller might want unrealistic expectations of too much money, I want them to feel comfortable stepping out and calling me, snag a few photos. I'll give you a cash offer to give to the seller before you walk out of that listing appointment.
Yeah.
It makes the agent look better. They have more tools on their tool belt.
Sure.
I can list it, I can get a cash offer, whatever the case. So I would say it's just
You want off market things that the properties that they approach that maybe they think it needs some love. Maybe they don't want. Maybe the seller doesn't want a tremendous amount of people going through the property.
Correct.
Maybe they've got a lot of hurdles with a lot of pets or a lot of junk or a lot of or they just don't really want their neighbors to know. That they want to sell, these type of things.
Absolutely. And you're putting yourself out there when you're talking to these agents, just saying, I want everything. It doesn't matter if you find something that's on market. I've said this before, and agents have gone and they've gone on a hunt 90 plus days on market. They send me a list of listings.
Of course.
And it's not, this is the big thing, it's not the e-alert that comes daily.
Right.
It's one list and it says here, this is everything that's 90 plus days in a specific area. What do you think of this specific address? They're doing their homework. They're going and taking the initiative themselves to show you what else is out there that maybe I did miss.
Yeah.
So you want these agents that are showing that they're hungry because, again, remember this. While the hardest part is finding a client, how many agents do you know that would kill to have a $500,000 buyer? Or in a smaller market, a $175,000 buyer?
All of them.
It's a free lead.
Yep.
Free lead.
Yep. But how do you keep a relationship with them? How do you stay in contact with them? If you're reaching out to people all the time, how do you build a stable of agents that you communicate? And how do you communicate with them?
For sure. So it's going to be...
And what's the right amount? How many agents should be in your network?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I always say to start with 300. 300 is that base number. And out of 300 agents, you should be able to at least get 1 to 3
They should
deals.
be in our database?
Database, yep.
And do you text blast them all?
So I like to use my cell phone personally just because I don't want them calling a number that's going to ring to multiple people or a number that's not my number that they feel comfortable texting, calling at any time. As for communication, it's really going to depend on how you start the conversation with them. Yeah. If they email you, maybe it's email. Maybe they're an older school agent that wants to just email. If they are texting you nonstop, text them back. If they're picking up the phone and calling you, call them back. Whatever their communication source is, I tailor that to them. As for what the right amount is, these people, dude, you said it. They kill what they eat. Yeah. So they kill
what they kill.
Yeah, thank you.
I got
Thank you, words.
Listen.
But they have to go out there and they have to go and find these clients. Yeah. So, I mean, you got to put yourself out there and find ways to be relevant in front of them. Blow up their phones. I send text to my VIP agents freaking 5-10 times a week. Yeah. What do you got? What do you got? Hey, do you have anything in the works? Yep. How many times on the investment side do you have people say, I'm working on something right now, I'll have it in a week?
I'm telling you, that is how Jamil built his business. I mean, Jamil was texting me 3-4 times a week before he really became close, before he really kind of squatted up together. And he knew that once you have somebody that was giving you deals, then all of a sudden you're like on it all the time. And you need to reach out. And most of the time it's a text message. And I agree with you. It should be a personal. And I don't know. We'll have to check. Is there a way, 100... Can we see if batch leads you can put in your own cell phone number for text blasting? Is there a way to ask Michelle or have her come in here? All right, good. So we'll see if that's an option because we use batch leads. It's phenomenal. It's really, really, really a strong tool. Batchleads.io. If you're interested in text blasting, use that coupon code TTP as well. All right, batchleads.io TTP. All right, and then on the flip side. What I like doing is going after pulling all of the lowest sales every month. Okay. And then who is the listing agent on those lowest sales? What was happening there? Not bank owned. I'm not interested in REOs, not interested in short sales. I'm interested in straight up cash sales. Who was the agent that listed those? because there's some agents that work in certain neighborhoods that need
Correct.
more renovation than others.
Absolutely.
They've got an inside scoop.
Right.
They would love to keep the 6%
Mm-hmm.
on these deals. And so you start building those relationships as well. And by the way, you could do that easily on Redfin. You could pull up all those things on Redfin. You could search, the lowest price or put your cap on to, if you're in a market where your median sales price is $400,000, you look for all the properties that sold for under $200,000 that are single family.
Absolutely.
Sold 50% or if they're, if you're above that, what's sold for $250 and below, that type of thing. And then you start looking at all those beat up properties that say, and then you could do searches by keywords like fixer.
Absolutely.
Fixer
Motivated,
upper,
invest,
motivated,
as is, REO.
as is,
All of them, yeah.
handyman special. You start pulling all those. You start bringing those agents in, and listen, they might already have buyers. They might already do that. Michelle, come on in. So, Michelle, let me ask you a question. On batch, hey, Michelle, do we have a clapping sound? Anyway, batchleads.io. Can you put your own cell phone as the caller ID?
So you can
Your own cell phone number as the caller ID.
You can put it as a call forwarding number,
Okay.
but as like a texting number.
Yeah.
No.
So if they text that number, would it be able to be sent, though, to your number? Or is it just for
Yeah.
calling?
Yeah. So when you buy a phone number, you can create a call forwarding destination. So like, let's say I want all my Phoenix numbers. If someone calls that text number, it'll get forwarded to my cell phone, and you'll just put your cell phone number as a call forwarding.
So if somebody texts you back, it goes to your cell phone?
No, it goes to your inbox. But if they pick up and call that number
No, I need text coming to our cell phone.
to your cell
Yeah.
phone, it's going to go to the inbox in Batch Leads.
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
The dialer, you can use your own phone number, though.
Right.
The batch dialer.
Right. No, I get that.
Yeah.
We just need, what are you guys laughing about? Oh, yeah. So Mac, there's Mac. Yeah. He's filling in for Albert today, and he's looking good. He's looking real good. He loves you. He's looking right at you. Anyway, okay. So you can't text from your you can't get text from Batch Leads to your cell phone.
No.
Okay.
But we do have an app.
Will you make
so
sure that happens? Thank you.
yeah. Well, we have an app you can
we
download
go.
for your cell phone.
You do?
Yeah, we have
But
an
now,
app.
and that will notify you on the app on your cell
The
phone.
issues is what we're trying to do is we're trying to build a database of real estate agents that can reach out to us anytime they've got an off-market deal. And if it goes to something that's not our own cell phone, it doesn't feel as personal. It doesn't feel, it feels very corporate. It
Yeah.
feels very, the agents I feel will be like, wait a second. Are they really looking at this? Are they going to respond as quickly? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think the response is probably, 80% of, the importance, but that other 20% is, hey, listen, is this like my guy? Is this, you know what I mean? So,
Well, maybe once you have the hot lead, so you can have the app on your phone. You can receive text messages on your phone. And then once you have a hot lead, you can say, hey, I'm going to text you from my personal line. Like once you've built that relationship.
Yeah.
And then build that internal contact list
Cool.
within your phone.
Cool.
So that would be my advice.
cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're
Appreciate
welcome.
All right.
you.
Thanks for popping in. So there you go. Okay, so 300 agents in your database, and then from
Yes.
there,
You got to categorize
how many
them.
agents? How many deals can you get from 300 agents?
1 to 3.
1 to 3.
1 to 3.
1 to 3 every 300 agents.
Every 300 agents, correct.
And is that per
keep in mind-
year?
On average, yes.
Okay.
But keep in mind, though, the good agents.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, I should give a shout out to Jamil. Just spit out this statistic. It was the first day of the challenge, I believe. Monique Walker out in this market. $1.8 million in assignment fees that she's splitting 50-50 with Jamil just this year.
Yeah.
$1.8 million. That's one agent. I mean, out of 300, you could find that.
Listen.
It takes time.
Monique Walker also cold calls 3 hours a day from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
For sure.
She's done it for 15, 18 years. She's an absolute killer.
Absolutely.
She literally just talks to people. That's
And-
it. And she does it from her house. I've literally sat in with her
Yep.
like 7 years ago to see her do her thing. It's not rocket science. She's
Well-
literally just a machine.
Yep.
I'm telling you, I am telling you, if you call for 3 hours a day, whether it be real estate agents, whether it be distressed property owners, whether it be canceled or expired listings or for sale by
Yep.
owners, you will do you'll do an incredible amount of business. I mean, she's
Yeah,
doing 900,000 herself, 1.8 total.
Yep.
And that's just from her wholesale. That's not
Yep.
even all the listings and buyers and stuff that she does on that side.
Yep.
She's an absolute beast. If you develop the skills of effectively having quality conversations, nobody can fail. I am telling you, I have not seen it. I would not love to see it. I want everybody to win, but I would love for somebody to argue that, because I would tear that apart.
Right.
If you look at the numbers, you talk to enough people, you're going to win.
Without a doubt.
Do we have some questions getting lined up? Or are we rocking and rolling? All right, guys, listen. I've asked as many questions to kind of get the mind going and swirling and whirling and going. So let's pepper Ryan with some questions before he gets on tomorrow. Let's get him. This is like his practice run before he goes tomorrow, which is really cool, I think.
Dude,
because a lot of these
absolutely.
questions are going to come up and
For
we're
sure.
watching you do your thing. So tomorrow you're actually calling up agents to get referrals?
For sure. So
Awesome.
I'm going to be splitting it up with half my time going cold calling to agents that maybe I've talked to, maybe I haven't. I don't know. I'm just using the list that was from Batch. And then I'm going to be spending the other half showing some MLS deals, showing you guys that this biggest limiting belief that they're not available on market for this week.
Yep.
On market.
Yep.
I mean, dude, we're on track to have December be one of our best months this year, and this is the slowest month for most agents.
Bro, I'm telling you. You know why? I mean, I've been talking about this, Hunter knows, I've been talking about this since December 1st. I've been talking about this since November 15th. Don't slow down now. This is your time to really make January special. It truly is, for the most part. I mean, these deals that you're locking up, maybe you're closing before the end of the year, but realistically, with title companies being closed, on the back end of the last 2 weeks of the year, I mean, it might push to January, but having a dope January, having a profitable January is so key.
It's a perfect way to get the year
So
started.
key.
Yeah.
Especially if you have big, hairy, audacious goals, the BHAG as it's called. If you got big, hairy, audacious goals, you need to start off fast in January. Because if your goals right now are to make $1 million next year, and you don't have a pipeline right now that's going to close,
86,000 month one.
that's it.
Yep.
Yeah. There you go. All right, let's open this thing up.
Let's do it.
Daniel, how do agents get paid when bringing me a potential sub-2 deal? Who pays the commission, and how does it typically get structured? Thanks.
So
Do you run into that much?
I don't run too many sub
No,
two
me
deals,
neither.
but what I will say is that if they have a listing agreement signed with the seller, seller pays the commission.
Right.
So
Yeah, Daniel, most of the time, if people are going to be sending you sub-2 deals, I would just do a flat fee, a flat fee bird dog type thing, because they're not going to be involved in selling the deal and walking this through title
Structure,
and doing,
everything.
and inspections and appraisals and all of that. I would just say, hey, listen, every time you bring me a sub-2, I'll give you $2,500, and I'll take care of everything. You literally just give me the name, address, phone number, and if this works out, I'll send you a check for $2,500.
absolutely.
Because most of the time on those sub-2s, there's not a tremendous amount of equity, and so what happens is the agent can't list it, because the agent's first line of defense is, I'm going to put it on the market, get you out of this property.
Yep.
So if you've got a foreclosure, if you've got some sort of distress and the property owner has equity, the agent can just put it on the market, get it sold before anything bad happens, like an auction, and get that property owner clean out of it. Now, if there's not enough equity, there's not enough in there, they don't have 6% to be able to pay the agent and to pay closing costs and to do any repairs, that's when you typically find sub-2s. And, oh, by the way, the agent won't get paid on that if they don't pass it over to you. So it's a huge advantage for them to get a flat fee.
For sure.
Yep. There you go. Jeff, Rhino from Asheville. All right. Ryan, please give us your daily or weekly action plan.
Ooh. So it's a little bit all over the place right now because I kind of have my hands in like 15 different buckets.
Yep.
But if I was going to be going solely on MLS, most important, I'm going to be starting with follow-ups in the morning. I then want to transition into my...
What does that mean? Follow-up of what?
So my follow-ups, this might be any offers that I've sent out the previous day, which should be 5 a day. And then it's going to be any follow-ups with agents that maybe have said, hey...
So you send it, I'm going to slow you down
let's
because
do
it's going to make it a lot. So you send out 5 offers to real estate agents on market properties.
A day.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's get away from the MLS. Let's go this referrals from agents.
Okay.
I think that's what Jeff's going at. Jeff, if I'm wrong, just put it in the comments. But with agents,
Yes.
reaching out to them to send you off-market deals,
Okay.
what would the weekly, daily schedule look like there?
Yep.
Where does that fit in?
So I don't think there's anything right or wrong about like which day has to be which thing, like which task.
Yeah.
Be mindful that most listings are going to go up on Thursday, Friday. In a seller's market like this, you're going to find some listings that say we're reviewing all offers on Monday. So then if you want to circle back and check with these agents that maybe have had opportunities that didn't sell through the weekend, that'd be a good time Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah.
I'm still starting my day off on follow-ups. I want to make sure that I get all my most important tasks done ASAP. So this is going to be an agent that might have said, hey, hit me up in a month. Hey, hit me up after the weekend. Or their VIPs.
Where do you keep that? How do you stay organized?
So for the longest time, I was doing this in Excel.
Yep.
We just started moving it over into Podio, and it goes hand in hand with our MLS deals where we align it with our follow-ups for the day based on either past deals we've closed or deals we've written offers on.
Tasks?
Yeah, correct.
Here's the thing, Jeff. That's the beautiful thing that I really like about Investor Fuse as a CRM and or any Podio or any CRM is when they set up the tasks and you get to literally, it's brainless because you set it up and once it's set up, you're just adding to it all the time. And so you look at it, and this is what my team does. My acquisition managers, my lead managers, my dispo managers, they all know what they're supposed to do that day.
Correct.
Which is powerful.
Correct.
All right. So in the beginning, if you don't, you're going to have to set it up into some sort of Excel or keep some sort of, my CRM for the first $1 million. $1 million was this thing, right?
There you
go. I would literally write notes on a piece of paper like this. I had a lead sheet. You could get that at ttpinsider.com. I have a lead sheet. I would rip it off. I would put it in. Today is the 9th, right? And I would pull it out, and boom, it's the 9th, and these are all the people that I'm going to do my lead follow-up with today. So there's options here. You can get this on Amazon for like $20. And then I have this guy. Look at this. This is great. I've got this guy, which is January through December, and I would put all the December ones in here. I'd pull it out. I'd put them in each day that I'm supposed to call. And that's how I'm doing my lead follow-up. Is it old school? Yes. Is there smarter ways? Yes. Did I do it because I was doing too many deals and didn't have time to set up some sort of analytical CRM? Yes. Did it get to the point where I could hire somebody to set up my CRM? Yes. Am I qualified to set up a CRM? No. I am qualified to go out and do this. Blah, 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 blah. Talk all the time. Connect all the time. Obviously not saying blah, 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 but it's just I'm exaggerating the fact that if you are out there doing the income producing side of this business, which is talking to these real estate agents, following up with these real estate agents, following up with these MLS deals that you're putting offers on, following up with distressed property owners that you're reaching out to, you win. Do not let creative avoidance come in and distract you and make you feel like you have to do all of these things to be a smart business person. It's bullshit. What you need to do is you need to talk to people and set it up so that you can be organized. And if you can't, find somebody to help you.
For sure.
There you go. So you basically, you set it up. You do your lead follow-up in the morning.
Yeah, I do a mixture of follow-up and outreach.
Okay.
I think that's honestly, if you're going for initial startup and it's just focused on talking to agents, follow-ups for half the day, and I do the follow-ups first. The second half, whether it's afternoon or late morning, do the outreach.
Yeah.
Remember, inbound versus outbound. You want them coming to you. So whether or not it's going to be going in Facebook, whether or not it's going and asking, dude, go in your contacts book and say, hey, text everybody, I need help. I'm looking for a realtor.
Yep.
Right then and there. It's all about just getting these people to come to you. So I just mix up between those two tasks.
Love it. Beautiful. And then from there, do you have goals on the certain amount? I mean, if you know that you're going to get a deal for every 300 agents, 1 to 3 deals, I mean, that's a lot of people you got to stay on top of
keep in mind
a deal a month.
There's still a pretty big amount of your day left.
Yeah.
How I used to start every single day was going through and checking. It was a mixture of, I was combining direct to seller along with my agent outreach.
Yeah.
So my mornings I'd wake up, I'd open my email, I'm scrolling through all the properties that were sent to me, any texts that were sent to me that I missed from the night before from agents, and that was the start of my follow-up. So it's basically just going
Listen,
in, setting the expectation with them.
I'm just thinking in my mind right now.
Yeah.
I think it'd be a really smart strategy. You know how we get all these big lists. We skip trace all these lists. We do all these things with we call all these lists. We text all these lists. We do all that. Why not grab every real estate agent list, right?
Yep.
Put them in a dialer,
Done. Absolutely.
right?
Yes.
And then,
Yes.
by the way, their agents, their phone numbers are commercial because it's a business. So the DNC, all that stuff, you could call them all you want unless they block you. So that's a whole different thing. And not a lot of people are calling them to find these deals.
I'm doing that tomorrow.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
Cold calling agents with a dialer.
Well, Brent, how do I get those numbers and the addresses and the people? Dr. Bill, Google it. I'm telling you right now. We're giving you heat today.
Dude.
I don't know what our audience level's like, but this is some crazy. I hope people watch this. Dr. Bill's real estate agent list. You can get the accurate list of all of these agents' emails and phone numbers from Dr. Bill's realtor list.
And then you
It's like
but then how do you-
$500.
Does it have the numbers with it too? Or do you have to skip trace it after?
I think it has the phone numbers with it.
Dude,
I'll
I
have
mean,
to check.
But
I mean,
and even if not, I mean,
will
just
you
go to
pull
batch
it
skip
up,
tracing.
Matt or Alejandro? Will you go and see if they provide, just Google Dr. Bill's real estate agent list, put Arizona. I think it comes with the phone numbers. The phone numbers are registered.
Dude, then there's no excuses. No excuses. Seriously.
Just cold call them all day like you're cold calling, like,
And guess what? You're not getting cussed out
Right.
as much.
Right.
But like,
yeah.
why would much rather have the conversations with people that are going to go and work on my behalf to find this? Otherwise, I'm going to have to go and rely on wholesalers or direct to seller.
Yeah.
That's a harder deal to try to like find.
Yeah.
Why not just talk to
Yeah.
agents all day?
I love it. I love it. That's
Money.
I got to talk to Jackie. Jackie's my lead manager. Anyway, all right, good. Perfect. There you go. Chad, when would you offer dual agency on initial contact or during counter offer negotiations?
Beautiful question. So a lot of people like to resort
Will you
to
explain
this.
dual agency for
Yes.
people that are not in,
For sure. So a dual agency is where there's one brokerage. So whether or not
It does? It has phone numbers?
It looks like it has
Yeah, pull that up. There you go.
boom,
33,000 cell numbers.
Yeah, I thought so.
there you go.
Yeah, right there.
$400.
That's Arizona.
That's Arizona, yeah.
That's the whole state?
Yep.
Can you do it by county? Yeah. I think you could do it by county too.
I think so. There's
Boom.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so a dual agency. This is one of two things. It's where the listing agent of the property that you're going towards.
You should
is-
put together a training.
I'm going to. I'm going to.
Wow, I see what's going on.
So
I love it.
You've got the listing agent that has the property that you're writing the offer on. That listing agent can represent both the seller and the buyer in that transaction, or it is going to be the same brokerage. So, for example, I'm at Stunning Homes Realty, you're at Stunning Homes Realty.
Yeah.
If we went on one transaction together where he was representing a seller and I'm the buyer, that is still technically a dual agency. So, when would you offer it? That's a solid question. A lot of people resort to jumping right into that being the first thing. I don't. Obviously, being licensed myself, I would like to get the commission. Now, keep in mind, I started off the conversation with these people saying, I'm an investor in Phoenix. I didn't lead off saying, hello, I'm a realtor. I want to, just like when you're talking to a seller, you don't go right into the conversation saying, 100,000.
Right.
You jump in saying, tell me about the property. How are you doing?
Yeah.
You build rapport.
Yeah.
You do the same thing with these agents. Sometimes agents are going to just start spewing out information about every little detail about the seller. Oh, they're buying a house up north. They need the money. If they could sell in 14 days, it'd be great. They'd probably be willing to take X amount. Once you start building the rapport, breaking down their walls, you're able to kind of figure out and pinpoint, is this going to be a direction where if I'm licensed, I'm going to represent myself, or maybe it's an agent that you've done agent outreach with that's going to represent you and get the commission.
Yep.
Maybe that's option one. Or option two is if I could tell there's no motivation, there's no sticking point, I might throw a line in when I'm talking to them saying, you probably wouldn't be able to represent me in the transaction, would you? I like to do
Little pullback.
little pullback. And
Love
then they're going to jump on that and say, well, no, absolutely. I could probably do that. And I'd say, sweet, where do I need to be?
Do we not have two camera angles today? Is this camera screwed up?
We don't have it. We don't have the second one set up today.
Got it.
No worries. Yeah, so then from there, they would basically tell you where you need to be. And if they're not representing you. So I would just make sure that when you're going the dual agency route,
Yeah.
You're not losing. Make sure you understand that it needs to be not only just a win-win, it's a win-win-win. Seller's winning because sometimes you can't really negotiate this, but a good listing agent will negotiate their commission maybe from 6% to 5%. They're going to tell you where the price needs to be, so the listing agent's not getting 3%, they're going to get 5%, and then you get the deal that makes sense for you where the numbers need to be.
Love it. Boom. Chris, can I do all this with my phone, or should I invest into a computer to help manage everything?
Beautiful. I would start with just a cell phone.
Yep.
You don't need a computer yet.
Make that a goal, Chris.
For sure.
Make it a goal that you buy whatever computer you want after you close a couple deals. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't advocate for spending a lot of the profits that you have, but if you don't have a computer, you're going to need a computer at some point.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to get nitty gritty with comps on a computer than it is a phone. You could do pretty well on the phone, but to get real nitty gritty, I have found it's a lot easier on the computer. It's a lot easier to manage your CRM. It's a lot easier to input a lot of data. It's a lot easier to work with your dialer. I would get a computer, but you could do a lot of damage with just your phone until you get to that point. But I would get one. Yeah. Yep. Ciao. Matt, if Brent leaves train station A at 1 p.m. and Pace leaves train station B at 2 p.m., how many bananas will Brent eat? Yeah, exactly. Well, if I'm leaving the station at 1 p.m. and Pace will probably go a lot farther than me on this train because he loves going everywhere and meeting everybody. That's fantastic. So I would say all of them. How about that? There you go. Chad, could a letter of intent be used instead of a buy and sell? Don't do it, Chad. Do not do that with real estate agents. That is the biggest no. Yeah. Anybody that puts a letter of intent in with an agent is a huge red flag. They're like, oh, okay, this person has $0 in their account.
Absolutely.
Yep. So don't do it, Chad. Larry, I'm in mortgage. It seems that this would work in soliciting agents for their buyer business. 1,000%, Larry.
Without a doubt.
Bro, Larry, I had the best mortgage lenders, the best loan officers in our area all started cold calling. Start cold calling, build up your stable of buyers. Build up your stable of buyers agents, I should say. Stay in front of them. Treat them right. Over-communicate. Show them how badass you are, and you will build an incredible book of business. But I will tell you this. The mortgage business is a fist fight all the time because you got things changing on an hourly basis.
Yep.
You've got so many different processors and underwriters and banks going in and out of what they're lending, what they're not lending, and this and that. If you like exciting things, if you like things changing all the time, it's a perfect business. Right. But I've seen more people that they used to have stars in their eyes and now they're just glossed over because it's just nonsense. Great money, by the way. Yep. Great money. But build a team, Larry, as soon as you can to help lighten the load there. But yeah, cold call agents all day long. All day long.
Yes, sir.
Yep. That's awesome. Hey, it's a numbers game. There's Albert.
What's up, Albert?
You sell yourself to many agents aiming to land a handful of rockstar agents that send you the leads. That's right.
Boom.
Yeah, you sell yourself to many agents, and what it comes down to is you end up probably with 50 to 100 agents that actually are doing business out of the thousands that you have in your database, and then all of a sudden you get an extra 10 deals, 12 deals, 20 deals.
Yep.
A year.
The goal is that it almost gets overwhelming between following up with the agents and having to underwrite deals to where you have to have people that you look for saying, please help me. Please help me.
Love it. There you go, Albert. Nathan made $120K this year in 8 months working with agents on market flips and wholesales. Come on, play.
Boom.
You get to ring that one.
Bro.
Come on.
Let's go. That's what's up.
Congrats. That is incredible, Nathan. Yeah, there you go. Proof's in the pudding right there.
Right there.
Congratulations. That is phenomenal. Yeah, I mean, it's the truth. And that's it. And you're just warming up, Nathan. I mean, you keep building that pipeline of your network of people sending you
Literally.
deals, you're going to be unstoppable.
Literally.
Yep.
Love it.
So you split the assignment fee with the agent?
If they do not get commission, if they do get commission, no.
Yeah, here's the thing. When he was talking about Jamil and Monique splitting those deals, that's the arrangement because they've been doing business a long time,
Yep.
Larry. So your best agents are going to want bigger pieces. So give them 50-50.
Yep.
Because here's the thing. If you go in and if they go in and don't have to do a listing agreement with that client, one, they're not fiduciary. There's no fiduciary duty owed. Well, there's always fiduciary duty owed to the public if you're a real estate agent. So you have to do, what's in the best interest. But if you don't have the actual contract with them, you can go in as the buyer and be able to make sure that you are negotiating. The agent is negotiating as the buyer, and you split it 50. You essentially become partners with these agents.
Absolutely.
Is what it is.
Yep.
And so they go in as the buyer, but not as the agent. And I was wrong. They don't have fiduciary duty because they don't represent them.
Exactly.
So there you go.
I think it's the code of ethics.
Ethics.
Public,
That's
yeah.
what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Yep. That's exactly what I was thinking. It was in my, yeah. Addison, how can you find the hungriest agents? I'm talking about the tenacious ones
I got
that get
this.
down and dirty.
Oh, Addison, you're about to love this.
All right.
So there's two people. Hey, Larry, if a realtor or anybody, myself included, buyer reached out and said, hello, Mr. Lender, who are your best agents? You go to a title company and say, hey, who are your best people that I should know? Right then and there, you are not only just targeting people that are killing it in the industry, you're getting referrals from people that are actually working with these people that are killing it in the industry. So now let's throw a little twist on here. You're not just doing agent outreach. You're reaching out to lenders. You're reaching out to title. What you want to do is make sure they understand they're going to be compensated for referrals they bring to you. So I've worked out agreements with like lenders. You bring me somebody and I get a deal with them, I'll kick you $1,000 on every deal that they bring me up to
Love
a
it.
certain point.
Yep.
You find the hungriest agents, that's going to be going and maybe going this, I don't know if it's broker sumo throughout the whole country.
Yeah.
But you can go and you could find there's a system where you can see who the top performing agents are. I would say your best bet, team leads, brokers, title companies, mortgage lenders.
And Addison, I would challenge this a little bit. I have found that the hungriest agents are usually have a really good book of business, have a lot of other investors, have a lot of, like the established ones have people that they go to.
Yep.
I like the people getting in fresh. I actually have gotten some deals from a Spanish-speaking agent. They obviously speak English because we communicate, but did everything through text.
Yep.
Hey, here's the address. Do you want it? Yeah.
Yep.
And then you just met you right. So don't
Yeah, don't get discouraged by new agents.
It's definitely reps, Addison. If you try to overanalyze this too much, it's not going to work.
Without a doubt.
There you go. Jessica, as a wholesaler, if I get a license, do I have to work for a broker? And is there anything against me wholesaling on the side? Thank you.
It's a good question. So as a wholesaler, what I always tell people is actually to go get licensed. The MLS access alone is worth having the license in itself.
Yeah.
A lot of times when you're even going more on that direct to seller method, what's the most complaint you're going to get from these sellers? They want too much money. Flip your hat around. Hello, I'm a realtor now. As for a broker, this is the most important piece. When I'm talking to people and teaching them, I want people to understand your broker is your lifeline. They need to know and support what you're doing. Most brokers that don't support wholesaling are either uninformed and uneducated about how this process works, or they're upset because they don't get the assignment fee. So you want to make sure they understand that if you're getting licensed, you're doing on-market deals where you're going to be bringing commission in as well. So they would only get the split off of the commission, not the assignment fee.
Yeah.
So a broker that supports you is most important when being licensed.
Well, and you have to look at it, right? When you are wholesaling, Jessica, you are not, if you close on it, you're the buyer. If you double close on it, you're the buyer and the seller. If you assign it, you're none of it. You end up on none of it.
Yep.
You're not the buyer. You're not the agent. You're not the seller.
Right.
You had the opportunity to close it, and your exit strategy was you wanted to assign that to somebody else. And that fee that you got is a assignment fee based on a cash buyer willing to pay you to get that deal instead of you getting that deal.
Yep.
So if it's an assignment and if you're not representing the seller and you're not representing the cash buyer and you're not the seller or the buyer, you're not an agent in that moment. You're not a real estate agent in that moment. So if you're not representing anybody, including yourself, what do you have to turn into your broker? That's the conversation that you have to have. And most brokerages will not understand that.
Correct.
Even really smart investor savvy brokerages will not understand that. But in every market I have found, well, in every major market, maybe in smaller markets a little bit tougher, but you can hang your license anywhere in the state, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then there's usually somebody in the state that is investor friendly, wholesale friendly, and
Yep.
it's going to become more and more.
They'll work with you.
It's going to become more and more.
Yes.
Yep.
Correct. And also, too, I mean, we've talked about this before, a little side tangent, but in the next 5 years, you're going to need a license.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Guys, if you're look at this shirt. This is a dope shirt. I like that shirt. That is great. Rosanna, is it okay to walk into an agency in the area you're interested in and speak to the owner of the agency about your goal to get deals?
I don't see why not.
Yeah, but I wouldn't.
I would just call them, honestly. I mean, I wouldn't waste time going over there.
Yeah, I would not walk into a real estate company and be like, this is what I want to do.
Yep.
There might be somebody there to talk to you,
That's
but
other
for the
thing, too.
most part,
Most agents aren't at brokerages.
people are not in the office.
Yeah.
People work from home. People are doing their calls and everything. Now, if you can try it to get like that personal feel and touch, but I would just leverage your time and call.
Call them, and also, too, I mean, if you wanted to be in person and be face-to-face with these agents, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Call the broker and schedule maybe a lunch and learn.
That's what I would do. I wouldn't just walk in.
Yeah.
I
Call
would
them, be like,
schedule
"Hey,
a time.
I want to sponsor this event. I want to do a lunch and learn. I'd love to order lunch for all of your agents. Could they come in and I sit down and I go through what my process looks like?
Yep.
And if they find something, they could represent me.
Awesome. Yep. Christopher, what's a good response to an agent when they ask you, why are you looking to assign this property?
So that's a good question. We typically don't lead with telling them we're assigning the property in the transaction. Once we are at that point, we will let them know. But we would just tell them this is part of our exit strategy. We don't do this on every deal. We went into the intent to buy this property as a flip. However, after looking at the extensive amount of rehab that needs to be done, we thought that it'd be better to partner up with one of our exclusive flippers that we work with. And we decided to just do what is called the JV, a joint ventureship, where I'm going to be assigning the deal to them. And then we're working out a structure on the back end where we're compensated as well.
Christopher, listen to me. Have a financial partner in this. I am telling you, this is different than just going after a distressed property owner. This is much, much, much different. The best agents that are going to bring you deal after deal after deal, expect it to close as smooth as possible, or they won't send you the deals. You have to have the ability to be the buyer. And if you have the ability to be the buyer,
Correct.
then you're the buyer. And the option is to assign it. If you have no money and you cannot buy this, and you have nobody to support you, and you have no private money set up, do not do this strategy. Seriously.
Correct.
Do not do this strategy. You're going to get eaten alive.
Correct.
They're going to find you out in a second. If you go to a real estate agent and go, hey, listen, I'm looking for the best deals, and I may or may not close on them because I have to get them over to people that are the real decision makers, they're going to laugh at you. They're going to think you're a joke.
Yep.
This is way more technical than just going to a property owner that has a junkyard property and saying, yeah, I'm going to put this out to my database and assign it. They're like, okay, whatever. Is the price the same? The price is the same. Agents' jobs are to, one, first, be pessimistic. And then two, sniff out whether or not there's going to be anything stopping them from getting paid. Because in their mind, they're already spending that money. I know this because I've been an agent for a long time. I was a full-time agent for a long time. I've had conversations with real estate investors, and the ones that I worked with in the past were the ones that had everything. They had confidence. They were going to close quickly. They over-communicated. They came in with swagger. It was like they were literally had $10 million in their wallet.
Yep.
Those were the ones that I worked with. The guys that were like, let me put a letter of intent on this property. Can you send me all your best off-market properties that, need some rehab? Right. Okay, great. Are you buying it cash? Are you buying it with hard money? Yeah. Either way, You know, maybe a loan, maybe not a loan. Maybe they're all over the place and be like, "Brent, you're not getting anything."
Yep.
I'm going to go to this buyer that I know is going to close. So listen, brother, you need to
You have the ability to purchase.
and listen,
Absolutely.
if you have the ability to purchase and you assign it and they see an assignment on the closing statement, then just tell them, yeah, I was going to close on it. Buddy of mine wanted the property. I signed it to him.
Mhm.
That's the conversation, because that's the truth.
Exactly.
There you go. Can you negotiate federal liens? I talked to a guy, and he said he has a federal lien for the FBI because his son stole $23 million from his employer. Will the lien fall off, or is it there to say? Well, first of all, I would put it under contract. I would open up escrow with the title company and see if that's true. I would have them do the due diligence, have them dig into it, get it at a smoking deal, but have them dig into it to see if it really is on there. The other thing is, why would the father have the son's lien on his property from the
There's a lot of moving pieces.
There's a lot of unknowns there. I would see if they're just using that, or I would put it under contract, get it to the title company, see if it's legit. If it is, then just tell them best of luck. Federal, they don't care. The federal government does not care about your deal. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're going to slap that lien on there for as long as they can.
For sure. How do you get an agent or a seller to agree to work with your title company? This is the line we use. We just say, this is our premier partner. And I always ask the question, do you have a preference in the title company we use? 9 times out of 10, if an agent is going to say that they have a title company that they prefer, it's because that title company is paying for marketing or they're sponsoring something for that agent. The seller, I have only come across this a handful of times where the seller says, I use this company. And more often than not, it's them saying, I don't want to use this company. Yeah. So I just say, hey, my title company, we're able to cut a little bit of a discount for us being an investor, but also we're able to take a little bit of closing costs. We're able to reduce that closing cost by you using our title company as well. Create a win-win situation like we were talking about earlier. I haven't really had too much trouble with this one being our kickback. You find it more often than not when you submit offers on the MLS that the agents that, again, are sponsored or have a business partnership of their own with their title company will counter you with their title. But that's not too often.
Nice. Yeah. Marco, how does it sound when you're ready to make an offer on an MLS deal, especially when your number's lower than other offers they're getting?
So how does it sound when you're ready to make an offer on an MLS deal? I mean, when you're calling these agents, you're, like Brent and I were just saying, you're a buyer. You're going in with the intent to purchase this property. So you're asking the question just like you would direct to seller. You're asking about the condition of the property. You're asking about the seller situation. You're asking about if they were in your shoes, what would they do for renovation? And some agents may not even answer that. You're just trying to build rapport. When your number's lower than the offers they're getting, I cannot tell you how many deals we've gotten this year that were close to $100,000 off the list price.
Yep.
There were times that we were $30,000, $40,000 under one of the best offers, but because of how much they trusted our ability to close and a smoother transaction, whether it was speed and convenience for the seller or just they liked us more, they took our offer. So get rid of that limiting belief right away that if your number's lower, your offer is not going to get accepted if there's other offers. You can do it. You just need to have better rapport built with the agent.
That's it. And also, Marco, I mean, here's the thing. If they have higher offers, most of the time they're going to take the higher offers. Let's just be real.
Yep.
Now, if you've got a good relationship with them and the answer to this is over-communicate.
Absolutely.
I'm serious. Over-communicate.
Yep.
That is the answer to all of this, is to over-communicate with that property owner. That's it. Over-communicate. I mean, with that agent. I'm sorry. Over-communicate. Be there. Have a great personality. Don't bug them, but be excited. Have energy behind what you're doing and saying, and build that relationship with them. And that'll give you the best opportunity. Most people put in an offer and hope that it gets accepted. I would always beat out offers as an agent representing people, because I would just talk to them.
Of course.
I would hey, where do we need to be? What do we need to do?
Those are the best agents.
How do we need to make this happen? Like, what, like, tell you, like,
You feel the energy.
Let me make this as smooth for your seller as possible. Give me the keys. Give me the path that we can go down and see if it makes sense so that we can get this deal done. So those are the conversations, Marco. It's over communicating, being really positive, not causing friction with that agent, not getting butt hurt if you lose the deal, not going, oh man, you owe me one. That whole thing, that's just a waste of time.
Yep.
If you get it, great. If you don't, all right, we're going to get the next one. I'm coming for you the next one. You know I'm going to put my best foot forward on the next one, so let me know when that comes.
Love it. All right, from Candace. Couldn't a realtor do it on their own or wholesale? Need advice on creating a relationship with a realtor?
Yes.
Of course they can, yes.
Candace, absolutely. I will say 87.9% of real estate agents have no idea what wholesaling is.
Yeah. Yup.
I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm.
Go have a conversation with a real estate agent. Go, how many wholesale deals do you do? And they'll be like, what's wholesale?
Yeah, exactly. They're gonna be like,
what do you mean wholesale?
or they'll be like, I can't do that.
You
I'm
mean
licensed.
Buying at auction?
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't do that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to work up to get money to be able to wholesale. Listen, agents want to represent people to help them buy and sell. They're not buying and selling themselves.
Correct.
The ones that are, no wholesaling.
Wholesaling, yeah.
And they do it. The other ones, the majority of them have no idea.
Without a doubt.
They think that what they're doing is a job. There you go. Jason, I've had a few deals from MLS. Each time I couldn't find a cash buyer who wanted an on-market deal. What's the best way to find cash buyers who want on-market?
So for me, I always set this expectation when we're talking to buyers up front. I tell them most of my deals come from on market. And sometimes the question is like, hey, well, why wouldn't I just go to the listing agent? Great question. It's exclusively available through me. I was the one that found the deal and I got it under contract. I had to beat out multiple offers. I'd be more than happy to sell it to you. So as for finding the cash buyers, go into your tax records if you're in a public state and look at all the cash transactions in the area wherever that home was. I would be, honestly, this is another thing for building a relationship with these other realtors. Go and call the realtors that have listings in the area. Ask if they've had showings. Ask if they've got clients that are interested in being in there. You can go and just talk to people, talk to these agents, go and find out what their buyers are looking for and reverse engineer this.
Yeah.
Find the buyer first if you have to.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, Jason. It's going to be tough. Jason's great. I love Jason. So, Jason, here's the thing. It is you have to find the biggest buyers in town if that's the conversation, because they don't care where it's coming from. They just need the supply.
Of course.
They need the supply because they've got crews.
Yep.
There are people in this town that we sell deals to that literally break even, if not lose a little bit, on some deals strategically on flips to keep their crews organized, because they're going to make $100,000 on this flip. They'll lose $5,000 on this flip to keep these guys going. They will pay higher prices. They just need something for them to do. Okay. It's a weird business when you get into full-time fixing and flipping and doing it really big time, because you need to keep your guys busy or everything shuts down. It's a huge bottleneck. It's a huge issue. Because if you're not paying your crews, or if they don't have a next project, they're gone. They're doing my deals. They're doing Ryan's deals. They're doing Hondra's deals. They're doing Matt's deals. They're doing anybody's deals out there. They're going to be going and fixing and flipping for somebody else. They got to feed their family. Right? So some people the biggest buyers in town will do it. All right, Jason? Awesome. Amor, can I wholesale on-market properties virtually?
I did 250 virtually in Tucson year one.
250,000?
Yeah.
In income.
Woo! Year one. Just on market agent outreach, and it was all virtual in Tucson.
So did you get on their MLS?
I did have access to the MLS, yes. And it was just submitting offer, building relationships with the listing agents, just like you had said a minute ago. I was not discouraged if I didn't get it.
Right.
I was asking them, hey, can you get me the next one?
Right.
In a smaller market like what Tucson was at that point,
Yep.
it was so easy to build relationships with these agents because everybody knew everyone in town. Oh, that commercial building up on 24th? Yeah, that's owned by Jerry whatever. And it's like, okay, well, call him. Oh, Jerry has actually this parcel, this house, this land, this. Those are all virtual. Awesome. I handled all of that. Yep.
Awesome. There you go. The answer is yes. Also, Brent, is there anything I should have done before I start cold calling these homeowners and trying to lock up a deal? Is there anything I should have?
I think he was the one that asked about the organizing and what the process looked like at the beginning for agent outreach. So now he's talking about with going cold calling, like what should you do before that?
Chris, don't overthink this, bro. Ugly houses, phone number, quality conversation. You win.
That's it.
That's it.
It's a numbers game.
I'm telling you. Ugly houses, get their phone number, accurate phone number, batchskiptracing.com. It's not even close. They're the best of the best, batchskiptracing.com. Use the TTP code. I think you get it at 14 cents an address. And you get and then you then you call them. And you ask them if they would consider an offer. And when you ask them if they would consider an offer, there's only 6 responses that you're going to get. Yes, I do. I would consider an offer. No, I'm going to be buried here and go to hell. I never want to hear from you again. Maybe I will in the future. We're kind of talking about it. How much will you give me? Right? That's a very, very common. For the right price is the same thing as how much will you give me? Who are you and how'd you get my number? There's 6 responses, and it's all in the TTP script. Go to ttpinsider.com. There you go.
Boom.
Is there a best time to cold call lists? The number one answer to this is when you can be consistent. All right, John, when you can be consistent, that is the answer. I could not be consistent in the afternoon. Couldn't. Luke Rotfold, who's, in my opinion, and proof-wise, the greatest real estate investing phone prospector of all time, he cannot do the calls in the morning. He can only he likes doing it in the afternoon, after a gym, after walking properties, after shooting videos, after a protein shake, and then he'll get on the phone from 1 to 4 and crush it while he's playing Madden live. He'll get on the dialer and go bananas. So it depends on you, depends on when you can be consistent. If I didn't get it done in the morning, it didn't get done. Plain and simple. That's what it is.
I like that answer.
Yep. Martin, yep, I had my license first. What's the best way to write offers as an agent wholesaler?
So just in my personal opinion, what I found is if you don't have a team, no worries. Find another agent, whether it's at your brokerage, a friend of yours, someone in the industry that is also licensed. The strategic behind this that I teach is that what you need to understand is if you're writing the name as the agent representing yourself as the buyer, as well as signing for the buyer, it doesn't matter if it's an LLC or if it's your own personal name. When you're going in and you're representing both yourself and the buyer, you're going in there saying, I understand my commission's here. I found a lot of times the seller or the agent would be savvy enough to counter me based on whatever the commission amount was. So I, at the beginning, would go and find someone to either partner with or someone that's on your team that could represent you as the buyer's agent in the transaction, because then the seller and the listing agent are a little bit less willing to go and counter you back on, hey, well, you're getting $13,000 commission. Instead of that $495 deal today, you have to come up to $510, $515. So that's the big strategy I have behind that. Aside from that, it's just writing like normal. Make sure the person that's doing it for you understands the contract process, escrow process, and then as soon as it's under contract, you can handle it from there.
Do you ever have the agent write it?
Yeah, every now and then. It just depends. That would be the dual agency method.
Right.
It would just depend on more so if they are not willing to budge with me representing myself.
Right.
We have a lot of times where we'll write the offer and they'll say, yeah, I know you need to be here. And then I'll say, okay, well, can you represent me here? And then I try to get it a little bit lower from what that price was.
Got it. Love it. Do I have to let my broker know of my wholesale deals? I would have that conversation.
Yes, I would make sure they understand that's what you do.
1,000%.
Correct.
Yep.
They don't need to know every transaction that's done, but they should know that you're doing that as a day-to-day activity.
There is going to be a time where a seller, another agent, a title company is going to reach out to the broker about one of your deals for whatever reason, positive or negative, and they're going to be like, what? The last thing, the thing that keeps brokers up at night, the Mr. Scary sitting on their shoulder all the time, is unknowns.
Absolutely.
What are my people doing out there?
Correct.
What kind of rodeo is going on out there? What kind of carnival? You know, what is happening with all of these agents going out there, and how do I make sure that we don't get into a major lawsuit?
Correct.
Because listen, if you think that real estate investors are get sued or get into a lot of lawsuits, it's not even close compared to real estate agents.
Correct.
Not even close. It is a magnitude of 1,000 to 1 lawsuits against brokerages versus investors.
I've gotten them.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ryan, all right. How often, now that a lot of investors are making offers to realtors, are you encountering properties with multiple investors' offers?
Dude, out here, because I know Ryan LaChance, he out here all the time. I cannot tell you how many times we track our offers and we see who's the buyer at the end, and we see what price they paid, so that we can kind of like compare our notes.
Smart.
And 9 times out of 10, actually, with these deals, especially the ones that are day one on market, oh my God, I know most of the people that are competing against me. So be better.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
Build better rapport, over communicate, so on and so forth.
Yep. Michael, how much of earnest money do you put down?
$2,000.
Woo!
That's it.
You say that and people are like, wait, that's a lot.
Yes. So
Why do you do that?
a lot of times the good
Price
rule,
points, one. For
good
sure.
rule of thumb is that 1% of the purchase price is what an agent is taught should be expected to be put down in earnest
Around the country.
around the country.
Minimum.
So again, remember what I said earlier, most of my price points are $500K and up. 1% of that's not $2,000, it's $5,000.
Yep.
The conversation is just as you would have like with a broker. It's setting expectations. Going in and talking to these agents, hey, I purchase a lot of homes every single month. I have this thing called cash flow. I don't want to create a cash flow issue by over leveraging myself, putting out $5,000, $10,000 in earnest over and over and over. And more importantly is what we were talking about with having the ability to purchase. If you don't have that $2,000, find someone that will put it up for you. Maybe you have to take 40% and give 60% to the person that did
You
that.
want to see a gangster move that I do?
Let's do it.
On deals that I want,
Yep.
right, really want, and we're competing. I write in $10,000 non-refundable earnest money
Okay.
released immediately to the seller. Okay?
There's no way you lost on that offer.
You want to know why? Because $10,000 check right now before we've even closed to the seller that goes, by the way, it gets credited towards
Your
this
purchase
sale.
amount. Yep.
Goes, you know what I mean? But if I know there's nothing in the inspection, there's nothing in the whatever, I'm going to buy this property. It's a smoking deal. It's fantastic.
Yep.
And there's other offers and we're close.
Yep.
I'll give you, Mr. Agent, tell your seller, I will give them $10,000 today that they can put into their account. It'll go through title, but $10,000 non-refundable released to the seller today to get that deal. I've been doing that technique since 2006, bro. Like, for real, yeah. And it is magical.
I don't see, like I told you,
What
I don't know
happens?
how you would not get your offer accepted with that kind
If
of
you're
strategy.
close, if it's
If
now
it's-
listen, I would lose out on deals if it was like, you know, some agents have inside buyers, and most of the time agents are their own inside buyers.
Absolutely.
So I would lose deals to agents that I don't think would ever fully communicate the advantage of taking $10,000 non-refundable release to the seller.
Right.
And I would lose if I get wildly outbid. But beyond that, I mean, listen, I came from the land of auction. At the auctions here, foreclosure auctions, you have to have a $10,000 earnest deposit.
Absolutely.
Right when you accept the bid, you have to give that to them.
Yep.
And then in 24 hours, you got to give them the rest of the money.
Yep.
Right? That's fast.
Well, and also think about it too. Off-market deals,
Yeah.
your earnest money is not refundable.
Right.
So I mean, it's the same kind of concept.
I mean,
It's
your off-market deals it's fine. It's refundable in the inspection period.
if you're getting an inspection period,
Right.
You're buying from another wholesaler or whatnot. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's a whole,
Oh,
whole,
yeah.
whole
Yeah.
other spiel.
Yeah.
But
If you're getting it, if another wholesaler's already given it to you and they want non-refundable earnest with no
For sure.
inspection, that's different.
But that's a good strategy, though. I mean, we do that with some deals that we know are
You should try it.
slam dunks,
I'm
so we'll tell
telling
them
you, bro.
non-refundable.
It'll when you say released to the
immediately.
seller,
I gotta write that one down.
I would use it like, whew, yeah, that's a good one. Mm-hmm. Released
immediately.
released immediately
I like
to
that.
the seller.
I like that.
Because
I like
when
that.
people are like, oh yeah, non-refundable, but then you're going to fight for it, and then there's going to be some
Back
blah blah
out,
blah
yeah,
blah blah. There's a
litigation
lot of
sometimes,
different
yeah.
things in the contract. Well, they didn't give me this disclosure in the 5 days, so I'm going to cancel. There's a lot, dude.
No,
There's
dude,
so
I
much.
see it. Yeah, I see it.
Anyway, we're getting off. When virtual wholesaling on the MLS, should I find a title company first?
Yeah, I mean, Yeah, you could have one lined up. Of course, when you're writing offers, you're going to have to say which title company you would like to be in that offer. So I would say if you don't have one, reaching out to people in Facebook groups or anybody that's in the industry, and more importantly, just making sure that title company is investor friendly and they understand the assignment process.
Drew, yes. Before you get into any virtual market, for any strategy, you need to have a reliable escrow officer. It is so critical if you're not in town to help to drive that seller to the escrow, to the title company, or to help them get the paperwork or to do all these things. You need an escrow officer that is gangster. You need an escrow officer that is like, they will not let deals fall out. They are going to try to get everything done. They're going to really work hard. They're like psychopaths. They're workaholics. They've got that crazy brain. Those are the best escrow officers. They're great. They're wonderful. But I would not want to do that job. I mean, that's crazy. But some of them love it. And the best ones are just fantastic at it. Yeah.
Love it.
Yep. Alex. What is your pitch you use to agents when wanting to build a relationship to do business?
Yeah. So
I need help.
I need help. That's it.
Can you put that back up?
I need help.
That's it. That's the pitch. I mean, if it all boils down to that, I need help. I need help. I need to find a realtor that can find me off-market deals that I can buy and do something special with. You know, off-market deals that I could buy cash.
Yeah, and also too, Alex, watch me tomorrow, dude.
Yep.
I'm gonna use this line over and over and over and over, and not only that, I'm confident that I'm going to get a deal this weekend from my session tomorrow.
Right.
So,
awesome. Cool. Thanks, guys. So if you're having the agent represent you, you're going to just send your offer details and they write something up.
yeah, that's it. It's that simple.
Yep. That's it, Margo. You know, but if you have your own license, it gives you the ability to fill out that in the way that you want it to be.
Correct.
So you just got to make sure that there's some good language in there that you probably want, unless you're going to close on it. You're going to want to, you can assign a deal unless it says that you can assign a deal. But having that language in there is always suggested by every attorney that I've talked to. Correct. Also have the right to market the property, have the right to sell. Like if that kind of stuff really scares the agent that you're working with, which it could, that you're saying have the right to market it during escrow, have this and this, and you explain to them, yeah, this is part of our process, and they say, well, it sounds weird, I don't like that, then double close it if it's a good deal.
Correct.
Just close it and sell it. Do you put in your offers before ever seeing the property in person? Every time.
All the time, though.
And what do you say when the agent wants you to see it first?
I buy so many sight unseen properties every single month. If it's a requirement for that to be done, I would be more than happy to go and view the property once I'm in my inspection period.
Listen to me, Margo. If the agent is not going to review your offer and you're communicating and you are talking to them and you're like, hey, listen, this is why I'm not going to the property. I know this area. I know it really well. We do a lot of business here. And they're still like, no, it is a company policy that we make sure that every offer we check the lockbox. And if you are not on the lockbox, we will not review your offer. First of all, here's the thing. Unless that's in their listing agreement, that's bullshit. Because they have to present all offers. That's their job. Yep. Number two is if they are that type of agent, they are not your homie.
Yes.
They are not going to be in your squad. They are out for themselves.
And also
1,000%.
They're making everyone's life hard. Why?
I get it because they get a bunch of offers and it's people that maybe can't close on it and they don't know what's real and what's not real and who's real. It all comes down to communication. If you're talking to a Marco and explaining, like, listen, we buy here, this is the price, we will close, like, let's go, then they'll be cool. But if you just send in a blind offer and you don't say anything to them, it's not gonna work.
100%.
Yeah.
It is
10 a.m., right?
10 a.m., yeah. I think
10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time.
Yep.
So noon East Coast.
Yep.
But I think you've had to have already signed up, right?
No, you could sign up even today, tomorrow, whenever.
Where?
Jamil's, bio on Instagram, Jamil on Facebook. Larry, if you want to reach out to me on social media, I'll send you the link. Get all signed up.
There you go.
But I'll be live calling for 2 hours.
Ryan Zolan. What's your
Instagram is at Ryan Zolan. Facebook is Ryan Zolan. It's just my first and last name.
Zolin? Very easy to find it there, Larry. You got this. Did this apply to in New York?
Yes.
Absolutely,
I've got
Junior.
people that I teach in New York that crush it, and that is a state that most people have a lot of limiting beliefs, especially working with agents. They
Yeah.
do a lot more double closing rather than assigning, but that's more so with the attorneys
I
having
mean,
the
I wouldn't
issues.
say Manhattan, but I
Yeah.
would say,
Yes.
outside of that, Long
Absolutely.
Island,
Correct.
upstate, New Jersey
I was
areas.
gonna say they're more in
Yep.
like the New Jersey, and they're crushing it. I mean, I've got friends that are doing the same strategy, and they're like just
Anton, reaching out to 50 agents a day, what time would be best to get on the phones with realtors?
So I always say with realtors, it's like after 10 a.m. A lot of them, unfortunately, don't work.
No.
They don't work that hard. So 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., a lot of them might be waking up. They're getting their other responsibilities taken care of. There is no real right answer, though. I'd say between 10 a.m.
Yeah.
and 5, 6 p.m., a good agent's going to pick up their phone because anytime the phone rings, it is potential money in their pocket.
Right.
So
Right. Just got another MLS deal under contract. Are you kidding me, Amber?
that's our TC.
That's your TC. This is for you. This is for you. So this is your transaction coordinator.
Correct.
Amber, what's up? All right. Shout out to AA Amber Adams. Cool name. Even cooler that you popped on here, and well, not cooler than your name, but it is cool that you popped on here and told us about the 4 deals that you got this week from the MLS. And real quick before you put that, oh yeah, Luis. Hey brothers, I got 24K in 3 deals all in the MLS last month. I have a full-time business. Thank you guys for this lives every week. Well, thank you, Luis.
Dude,
Here we
there we
go.
go. MLS, bro. Let's go.
Listen, I'm telling you, here's the deal. We don't talk theory on this show. We don't talk theory on this channel. We talk real life results. We talk about instruction. We talk about giving you the tools to be able to go out there and make income from the air. How much is your marketing budget for getting deals off the MLS? How much of your 4 deals that Amber talked about, just posted about, how much of that is going to be profit?
It's pretty expensive overhead. It's $0.
Right. Okay.
I mean, actually, if you want to get really technical, I think our subscription's like $400, $500 for the year.
Okay.
So
An average deal size is?
commission
Income.
is $15K. The
Yep.
average wholesale fee is $10. So we're making about $25K
25K
per deal.
per deal. So this week is a $100,000 week. What are we doing? What are we doing? Let's go. Gosh, man, alive. The blueprint. I'll tell you what. I'm getting excited.
Dude, this is real stuff, real numbers, real deals. I'm going to be going through a few of them
electricity
tomorrow
today.
showing. It's like this is
That's it. Congratulations, Luis. Thank you for
Awesome
joining
job.
us every week. Really appreciate it. Jeff, do you do business in North Carolina with anybody?
absolutely. I've got a few great connections. Feel free to reach out to me, and I'd be more than happy to connect you with them. They're
Ryan
actual end buyers.
Zolan
Yep.
on Instagram.
Yep, actual end buyers.
There he is, at Ryan
Ooh.
Zolan. Is that it?
Boom, that's me.
That's you?
Wait, right there.
Boom, 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 boom.
Bow, 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 bow.
There it is. One last question,
Let's
and
do
then
it.
we're going to wrap this thing up because he has to go get 4 more deals before the end of the week. Let's go. How to assign
Yeah, how to get past
the
that. I'm
no
assuming.
assignment clause.
You double close,
Yep.
or you do what Mr. Brent does,
Yep.
and you take it down yourself, and then
Yep.
you turn around and you sell it.
Yep. Yeah, if there's a no assignment clause, then buy it.
Yep.
Find somebody. If it's a smoking hot,
If it's a deal, it's a deal.
if it's a smoking hot deal,
Correct.
you need to find the biggest name in your market, and you need to reach out to their assistant, or you got to reach out to their transaction coordinator, or you got to reach out to whoever, and you got to say, hey, listen, I need a partner on this to close this. Because if you do assign it and there's no assignment, well, first of all, the title company won't
They
even
won't
let you
allow
do
it,
it if
yeah.
they catch it. So, yeah, just get it closed. Close it, close it, close it. Find somebody, find an aunt or uncle or brother or dad or mom or sister or cousin or family or friend or best friend or ex-girlfriend or wife or whoever to lend you the down payment, the 20, 30%, typically 20% to get the hard money loan to close on this thing, boom, right now. Or take the shot and get transactional funding. You're going to take a shot. What I mean by that is it's going to cost you money. It's going to cost you 1 to 2 points, 3 points. It just depends, but you'll get that deal closed and you don't have to split it with a money person. So look into transactional funding. Look into talking to everybody about this incredible deal that you have. It should be on your social media. We're going to be doing a big show about this coming up at the beginning of the year with a surprise guest. It's going to blow your socks off. Anyway, yeah. I'm telling you, the beginning of next year,
It's gonna be
January goes so fast it like rolls your socks down. You know what I'm saying? Like it goes fast. So that's it, guys. We love you guys. Remember, let's put the blueprint up real quick here. Start with just doing your first deal.
Yep. Switching to full-time into the business is going to be the most important after doing a deal.
Kill your debt. Don't pay other people. Don't be a return on investment on somebody else's balance sheet.
Once you're back at zero, start investing into assets as you're bringing in the income from doing the business itself.
And then at that point, your money is working harder than you are. It replaces your income, and now you have financial freedom. We love you guys. We'll see you next week. It'll be the last show of the year, so we'll see you next week. See ya.
Appreciate you.
I ran up a check, I might do it again. Enemies close, had me thinking they're friends. 10 toes down, I'll be free until the end. Crib outside the city, I don't feel safe in my hands. Took so many years, I'm just waiting for the wins. I'm in debt to no one but the one who took my sins. I do it for real, there's no reason to pretend. If I do it once, I do it again. Add it up, bank